minutes enough, so.
I'm gonna start.
Oh, but getting it ready.
Oh, I got it ready. I'm gonna start recording.
Are you waiting on Ashley, Tammy?
Yeah, I thought she would be here.
Okay.
But, hello, how are you? Thanks.
She said right there she would attend, but.
So are we on YouTube or not?
Let me see.
She said
It said it was waiting. I'm gonna let Eric tell me.
Okay.
Rick, how are you?
She said at 1 or
Yourself?
1:30 on hers.
Okay,
Been a week.
Thanksgiving.
so we'll just, maybe she's not gonna make it.
Are you ready for Thanksgiving? How's
Okay.
Misty?
Good, how are you?
Good too? Good. Everybody ready for Thanksgiving?
We're on live.
Alright, we're alive.
As ready as we can be.
Alright. Call to order the Vermillion County Council special meeting for November 20th, 2025. If you'll please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Roll call, Mr. Costello.
Here.
Mr. Somerville.
Here.
Mrs. Brown is not here. Mrs. James, I'm present. Mrs. Furry's not here. Mr. Bose
Here.
and Mr. Weir.
Here.
Thank you. Today we are meeting for new business, kind of old business as well. We tabled a additional appropriation for the purchase of an ambulance building. And they have, the commissioners have gotten the appraisal and we've kind of filled in the gaps that we were missing the last time. RJ's here for any questions. Any updates that you want to, I don't know if you have anything else that.
No, RJ Donovan, Vermillion County Commissioner President. You guys should have in your packet or emails the inspection report. The appraisal came in $182,000. Commissioners are in agreement to proceed with this building. I know there was questions about renovation cost. We set up a meeting with Director Land Zone and a local contractor, and we're looking at, I'd say $32,000 in cost to get it up to going to where Julie feels comfortable with her staff moving in. I spoke to Neil. There was some talk about upping the heat in the garage bays because Julie had said, what, 50 degrees? You want a minimum 50?
That has to be the inside of the ambulance.
Yeah, so and then Neil had mentioned about like not shortchange ourselves and make sure you can get up to 70 or 80. So that potentially at 31,000 could go to 32, 33 if we go with a bigger heater out in the garage. But we feel very confident in this building. And on a long-term plan, the commissioners have met with Christy Gerald, and we are already working on an income survey for potentially 2026, potentially 2027, but that Oprah grant for $700,000, we're all in agreement to proceed with either a south station, new build if something doesn't work out with Clinton City, or potentially a third station. But we felt money ahead with purchasing this building, you know, around $200,000, renovating it, and then Julie did meet with the contractor as well, and we discussed adding on at a future date to the north side of that building. And these are preliminary numbers, but you're looking around 100,000 to 120 to the north side of that. But again, that's a very short, you know, Julie had met with them 30 minutes, and that's a very short window looking at that add-on. But again, the commissioners feel confident in setting a strict budget with that and saying, hey, we only want to go this much if we choose to add on. But to move them in, right now, you're looking at 32,000. We feel very confident with that number. Julie, do you want to add anything?
I just want to be clear that it's not, I mean, yes, it's to move them in, but we're splitting a room into two bedrooms.
Yes.
With a false wall, so it's not like it's gonna be the very short term to get them in the building.
And the addition, like I said, the commissioners haven't met to fine tune that addition yet, but just what Julie had asked for with that contract, where you're looking between 100 and 120. But again, we can fine tune that down less or more, whatever we see fit on that addition.
Does the 32 cover the good heating unit for the garage?
So the 31, I have to look back, yeah, 32, I talked to Neil, I mean, I spoke to the contractor and he thought maybe an additional $1,000 would get the extra heat out there that is needed, so.
I think the current setup is,
32 cents, yeah, so I mean, you add 1,000 to it or 2,000, but we feel very confident that it'd be very minimal addition for that.
yeah, I mean, the current method that was used to heat that time was 3 electric unit heaters in the building, so instead of buying 3 of those, if you buy 1 gas furnace, like a unit heater, I don't know, 250,000 BTU, something of that size, it'll have to be sized by a.
Yeah, and we talked about that, and he said there's a possibility that it may not even raise the price at all, because if we go with a big enough unit, then it may be a little bit cheaper than what the actual quote is.
Yeah,
So, but that was brought up to him after me and Neil had talked on the phone, so.
I mean, that was just my comment on just, instead of just replacing as is, to try to maybe improve that, so that the bay area where the trucks would be is a large area, and it has a lot of potential for use for a lot of reasons, whether it be a place just, you could actually be out there,
Yep.
you know, for truck cleaning, trainings, storage, you set tables and chairs up and have a meeting or something, I don't know, but you would want that.
And also in the garage we're building, Julie, it's like a secure area for the Medicare.
So we carry narcotics, so. Essentially a vault room to keep the narcotics and medication.
So that'll be built as well out in the garage, because right now they're using a different method of a Perrysville, but this would be a much, would you say secure, a little more secure than what's currently being used?
I think ultimately the goal was, well, the thinking was that if there's additional added to the building, it would be like, say, bedroom space. And then also we talked about like a storage room that was just for medical supplies and equipment that was secured. That was part of the expansion that would be needed.
Yep.
Is that garage gonna have to be cooled in the summer for the ambulances?
So it doesn't, I think because it's a block building, it's gonna stay cool enough. It doesn't have to have an air conditioner. Clinton City does not have an air conditioner. We are
Okay.
able to keep everything. It just has to have some.
The additional appropriation was in the amount of $215,000 coming from the improvement fund. So that would include, that total amount would include the purchase price, the closing fees, the appraisals, and inspection. And then also leave you roughly $18,000 to $20,000 for,
Help with them.
yeah. And then anything after that, we can look at the budget to see if we can transfer.
Yep.
That money is coming from the improvement fund. That was money we had set aside originally from the ARPA money, in a roundabout way with the reimbursement stuff,
Yeah.
so.
And there's what, Ashley, 600,000 left in the improvement fund, if you just had to spitball?
6 to 7,
6
I would
to-
say.
Okay.
I don't have an exact number.
I thought it was around there.
So this is money we have set aside for ambulance services.
I think it's sad that after 3 or 4 years, this is the best we can come up with, buying a 50-year-old plus building, when we know we can build a new one for the same money as what you're gonna have in this time you're done remodeling it. And this makes no, not me, I've already checked, I got bids, I didn't wait for you guys.
Well, the commissioners are unanimous in this request, Kelly.
I know,
so-
I'm not standing anyway, but it's on you guys, I'm against it, so.
I don't have any bid information myself.
Yeah.
I've looked at I've looked at some buildings that are comparable in size and design as, say, the new ambulance building would perhaps be. I think that the new building that was proposed with plans previously that the committee had worked on was for a steel frame type building that was designed by the architectural company in Indianapolis. That building was never priced. So now if you take those plans, which has a certain footprint size, and you apply that toward a different method of construction like wood frame, it's likely that the price would change. I assume downward would be reasonable to assume that. What it would be, I have no idea. Because ultimately, you've got turnkey ready. There's a difference between building the building and turnkey ready. And at least in some other counties, like I say, I've looked at some that are comparable, almost identical to what would be needed as far as size, and they were $1 million, and they were wood frame. Now, why? I don't know. The details, I'm not sure, but it was definitely up there in that range. So, could we do it for 250 on a new building, 300 turnkey with everything? I don't know.
No. It'd be a little more than that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at, parking space, doorknobs, flagpoles, everything you need, outside lighting and, whatever, you're probably looking at quite a bit more than what this is gonna be.
I should be clear, I didn't mean bids, I meant very highly educated guesses from people that know what they're talking about.
And as far as, I've kind of been I've made some highly educated guesses on some things that I'm pretty familiar with and been really, really wrong before currently on some pricing. I know that bridges, for example, have gone through the roof on prices recently, and I don't feel comfortable even guessing on those anymore. So this, I don't know. I'm just not an expert at it. So.
Julie, do you need a generator? I mean, there's still a lot you still need for this building, correct? Because I know our new building had a generator.
Is it required? No.
Okay.
I mean, yes, it's nice, but if there hasn't been a power outage, that.
Okay.
There are 2 steps today in approving this. One is the additional appropriation. The second is an ordinance approving the purchase of land for an ambulance station by the Board of Commissioners. If we could do the additional appropriation first before we do the ordinance, since the ordinance is kind of mute without the additional. The additional was tabled at our last meeting a couple weeks ago. On the 10th. Last week. Does anyone have questions on the additional appropriation?
I don't have any questions on the amount, but is the amount's not set, right? I mean, it's still in negotiation?
For the price?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the commissioners are renegotiated and agreed on 190,000 per some emails between council for the commissioners and for the council last night and early this morning. There is some, I don't want to say gray area, but there is an opinion to get a second appraisal. And in that, I think the 2 appraisals are averaged out and then you pay the average of that. So
That's assuming that the owner accepts that?
Yeah, so I had a phone call with the owner today and he was, open to that pending, the second appraisal didn't come in at like $100,000, which I don't anticipate, since the one came in at 182, I don't anticipate a second appraisal coming in. I mean, if it comes in lower, I don't anticipate it being that big of a discrepancy.
If you want, I can go ahead and read the ordinance, so that way, it does state that there is not to exceed a maximum amount.
Yep.
So that way.
Because we don't have anything to do with that negotiation.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
simply providing funds based on information we receive.
Let me go ahead and read it, so that way, I guess maybe it'll all make sense as a total package. Ordinance 2025-22, approving the purchase of land for an ambulance station by the Board of Commissioners. Whereas pursuant to Indiana Code 3622-20, the purchase of real estate by the county commissioners must be authorized by an ordinance of the county fiscal body fixing the terms and conditions of the transaction. Whereas the county commissioners intend to purchase real estate commonly known as 701 South Division Street, Cayuga, Indiana, from Zeke Norman and Renee Norman at a selling price agreed to by the Vermillion County Commissioners, but not to exceed $190,000, and that amount allowable under Indiana law. Now, therefore, it be ordained by the Vermillion County Council as follows. 1, the County Council hereby authorizes the acquisition of real estate commonly known as 701 South Division Street, Cayuga, Indiana, at a selling price agreed to by the Vermillion County Commissioners, but not to exceed $190,000, and that amount allowable under Indiana law. So that is the ordinance, so that way it kind of covers them to be able to still negotiate and whatever they'll determine is legally available, so
And it's 2025
22. So with the ordinance, since typically it takes 2 readings, we can vote to, if we have unanimous consent of those of us present, to adopt an ordinance at the first meeting. So I would need an additional vote first to adopt the ability to adopt it, and then we can adopt it. That makes sense.
What was the number? 2025-2?
22.
22.
Yep.
You're doing the additional first, Ashley?
I would like to, because it kind of makes no sense to do the ordinance
do
if we
that,
don't have
yeah.
the money to. So. Is there a motion to accept the tabled additional appropriation for the $215,000 from the improvement?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion. Can we discuss further at this point?
Yep. Sure can.
I served on the ambulance committee, so there's no doubt that I obviously prefer a brand new building. However, that's not my responsibility to choose the path that the county takes on that matter. So the commissioners provide the buildings. And at this point, I'm agreeable to this because I've spoke with people that live in my district. I've spoke with fire departments in my district, and I've seen the frustration with having the ambulance in Perrysville. So the distance that was supposed to be temporary. The path that we're on right now is like I say, it's not where I wanted to be, but I'm confident that to the people that it matters to most that deal with this on a daily basis, it's the right decision. And those are the choices I have in front of me. So I think the ambulance service is doing the best they can with managing with what they have. So, and it's come time to make some kind of move. And as always, we got to do something. If it's not the right decision, then we'll do something else. But for now, we've got to do something. So that's why I'm in favor. And I think the ambulance service would agree that it would be better to have it, at this location. In the past, there were other opportunities to have it in Cayuga still. The former ambulance service was located in Cayuga. All of the ambulance services in the past were located in an office in Cayuga that I'm aware of. When the previous ambulance provider was unable to continue with this project or this process, that facility became available. It was a residential facility that had a lot of issues. I think we agreed not to do that. There were reasons, and this one's different. So it's a different time, it's a different type of building, it's under different circumstances. So that's my position on it.
Think you do?
And like you, Neil, I was also on the ambulance committee. And I would prefer to have it in a different location with everything that we thought that we need after we sized it down and et cetera. But given the circumstances and the timing, this appears to be a viable option. So I'm in favor of it.
Any further discussion? All right. I have a motion from Mr. Weir, second from Mr. Costello, to approve the additional appropriation in the total amount of $215,000 for the improvement fund, go towards the purchase of the ambulance building and the related cost. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. The additional is approved.
Was that unanimous,
Yes.
Ashley? All right, thank you.
All right, next is the ordinance. So first I need a motion to allow the consent to adopt the ordinance at the first reading. And it has to be unanimous vote, but I need a motion and a second for that.
A motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Mr. Bose, a second from Mr. Weir, to allow ordinance 2025-22 to be adopted on the first meeting. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, it is unanimous consent. I have previously read ordinance 2025-22. Are there any further questions regarding the ordinance? Any questions from the public? None?
Can we ask questions?
Come on, Lee.
Commissioner? Will we be able to, can I eventually see the proposal for the contractor?
Yes, absolutely.
Because, I mean, I realize that that's on you, but I would like to see it.
Sure,
And
I can,
even meet with them, just because I am interested. And
Sure,
I'm not
I
just
will-
interested as a council member, I'm interested as a person.
I would welcome the entire county council as a board if they want to meet with the contractor. I will tell you, I reached out to 4 contractors, and it seems like everybody's busy, and some of them are working on really good projects, and this is a local contractor in the county that's willing to move his schedule around as soon as, you know, the things were approved. Now, we didn't want to, before we knew any of this funding was out, I didn't want to share that number out to, you know, put his prices up against somebody else's, you know. But I would welcome, I'm sure Julie would as well, to meet with all of you and the contractor to walk you through the 32,000 or 31,700. But yeah, I can email that to Ashley and the entire board so you guys can have that.
I think we'd all like to see it,
Sure, that's not a problem.
but I think Neil and I'd like to visit it.
Sure, yeah, I think that's not a problem at all.
I want it to be nice for them.
Sure.
But
That's
by
what I
the
said
same
when-
token, we have to be able to afford it too. But I would like to be, you know, I think we can do a nice
Yeah,
job.
and that's why when we met, I pretty much let the contractor and Julie walk through the entire building. I kind of stayed out of the entire discussion because it's whatever Julie feels that she needs for that staff. And I'm not gonna stand in the way and say, hey, this needs to be here, this needs to be here, so.
Julie, I appreciate you taking that time too. It is nice to have that expertise input.
Yeah, so I
because
mean,
You've done this a long
It's,
time.
it's also more than just the building too. I mean, there's an exterior, it's a site, it's a 1 acre site
Yep.
with asphalt and rock surfaces, trees, you know, so there are some things that will need to be looked at,
sure.
that will always need to be looked at because it's property maintenance,
Yeah,
so.
I'll,
you know,
I'll send that proposal to the entire council as a board, and then I'll just let you guys set a meeting up with the contractor and Julie, and if the commissioner's gonna attend, we can attend, but I mean, we don't have to be there. I mean, you guys can walk through that with the contractor yourselves, so.
Any other questions? All right. Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-22, approving the purchase of land for an ambulance station by the Board of Commissioners?
Not to exceed.
Yes, it will be not to exceed 190,000, an amount allowable under Indiana law, and the price is to be negotiated by the Vermillion County Commissioner.
I'll second it. Does it need a second? I'm sorry, you need a motion?
I need a motion first.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-22 as read by the council president earlier.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Mr. Costello, a second from Mr. Bose, to approve ordinance 2025-22, approving the purchase of land for an ambulance station by the Board of Commissioners. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. It is unanimous vote to approve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll get that sent out to you guys once I get back to work. The only other thing I'll ask is that if anybody knows of a second appraisal for a company or a person, please send it to any Board of Commissioners, because it was a struggle to find Sycamore Realty with Larry out of Terre Haute to get a
First one.
first one. So,
Is
Where's
there any
Lafayette?
secret-
Commercial property? Not
that
everyone
new?
does.
Is there
commercial
any sort
properties.
of relief from that requirement if you're unable to? Do you know? Can the attorney?
Spur was looking that up today, cause I asked him that, I said, John, it was a struggle, cause basically with commercial property, you have to have like it's like a level, and most of them only have residential, and like, some residential say they can do it, but I don't know if that appraisal would hold any water if
Try
they do.
Lafayette.
I have not, but I think the Terre Haute areas in Illinois, like, they're just all, I mean, Doug Waters in Clinton, I think he could possibly do it, but I don't think he has that. When I spoke to him, I'm not sure he has that certification, so.
There's another guy in Terre, it's Great Tagley.
Okay, if you can send me his information or his
He's
company.
done a couple for me.
Okay,
So, him and Larry's about the only two around.
yeah, Larry told me they're like a dying breed, that nobody does that commercial or that second tier.
I'll get his
Doug
number
can
for
do
you.
that.
Okay.
Doug can do that.
Can he? Okay.
Can you do commercial?
He's done it for me.
Really? Well, Doug would be good. if you-
Well, that's what I mean. I asked him, and Doug just said in the beginning he deferred to somebody else first, but now that I need a second one, he may. I've got a phone call on him today. He was busy.
Well, if he'll do it, if not, I can get a hold of it.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
I know you haven't negotiated everything, but how soon would you have the property once it's purchased? Do you
So
know?
we've got Henry and Nettie to do we want to keep all the money as local as we can to do the closing. He called me today and said he would have everything done in a week. You know, once we give him the green light. So I think for us, we're just worried about that second appraisal, and then once we get that figured out, we can call him, and I think we can be closed on in about a week.
Okay.
So.
Anything else?
The things that you have to do, will that follow the guidance of the inspection? I mean, there were things, I mean, I know that you can't do everything, but some things were considered important.
Yeah,
like,
and I think we'll sit down with Julie on that inspection report and see if there's anything she wants done immediately, but like the roof eventually, you know.
Right, but you know, if
roof-
there was an electrical connection on
Or
a
like an
switch that
outlet.
needed redone or something, that
Yeah, we
those
talked-
things would be dealt with.
Yeah, we talked to him
immediate.
about that, about doing the minimal
Obviously,
stuff
the
that we,
heat.
yep.
I don't think there was some mention of, what was it, a firewall, is that correct? So what was that?
Say it again.
Was it a fire wall?
Between living quarters and the garage.
Which I don't understand what the inspector was getting to with that. Because it is a concrete block
Our building,
wall.
it had to be a 45 minute rated, and typically, since that's a concrete block, they're more so talking about doors, windows.
That's what I was
Yeah.
wondering, if
So
it
it's
was just a
probably that-
passage.
It's probably that passageway.
The
that
kitchen.
door, Kitchen.
So
That door.
you may need to do like steel door,
Yeah.
some kind of
Right.
fire rated door, because the concrete block wall to me seemed like a
It is,
firewall
yeah.
versus, you know.
It's because they
It's
put
better
that
than most.
wood French door.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
gonna
the
say,
French
I'm
door
sure it's
may
the
have to
door.
go, okay.
Yep.
Okay, the steel door.
Anything else?
Nope.
Any further public comment? All right.
Well,
Is there-
council, on behalf of the commissioners, I'd like to thank you for calling the special meeting and getting this approved today. We greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for working with us.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, thank you, Julie. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you very much.